Welcome to VHS Sisters, a nostalgic movie podcast with two actual real-life sisters.
I'm Melanie.
And I'm Saysha.
Get into some comfy clothes, grab your favorite beverage,
and come hang out with us as I force my little sister to watch all the movies she missed growing up. So, I think I have to start this podcast with an apology.
Why?
Because
to whom?
I guess, well, to you.
Oh, okay.
Because I was thinking about it, and this month, as we've established several times, is your month.
Correct.
Okay. It is Melanie's month. It is Melanie's Memories month. And I wanted to choose movies that you had seen before. And technically last week, The Secret of NIMH, you had seen before. Mm-hmm. But it was not a happy memory for you. And I realize that now. I don't often say I'm wrong. I just couldn't think, as you know, the creator and producer of this podcast, I really could not think of another reason to like bring it up. I couldn't figure out another way to like wedge it in there. I'm like, there's no way we do a 80s/90s nostalgia podcast and we don't talk about Secret of NIMH. I think that's like...
Yeah, no, we would talk about it for sure. And we did.
We sure did. And I was like, I mean, a peek behind the curtain, listeners. I edit these podcasts. Hi, welcome to VHS Sisters. So I edit these podcasts and I get to listen to our voices. And I was like, from the get, I was like, listening back to Secret of NIMH, I was like, Melanie fucking hates this with the fire of 1,000 suns. The only thing she hates more than fucking Secret of NIMH is the rock biter from Neverending Story.
Yeah, I do hate him a lot.
Like,
I hate him.
Okay.
And I hate Practical Magic.
Yeah, Practical. I'm with you on that. Like, I was down to ride that nostalgia train, but yeah, Practical Magic, not a good movie. And
no.
we're still out here 6 months later saying that. So wait. I had something to say. So fuck, marry, kill, Rockbiter, Gurgi, and Jeremy the Crow.
Oh my God. Burn them all. Really?
Really?
I mean,
you had to choose Rockbiter, Gurgi, or Jeremy the Crow. I know my answer.
I'd be fucking Jeremy.
You be fucking Jeremy?
I'm not fucking Gurgi. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? I would kill the Rockbiter and I would marry Gurgi because he has redeeming qualities.
I guess so. He's very like, he would just be like, oh, whatever you want, wife. He's
a simp. Yeah.
He's a simp and he's here to like please you. And I get that.
Couldn't ask for anything more.
I was going to say fuck Jeremy because he's horny. Marry the Rockbiter because he's like, he's low maintenance. He's low maintenance. All he needs is rocks. I assume he has like a rock house that I could live in. And also, but like kill Gurgi, like throw him in the pit because I can't. But I understand why, that's like more your type for sure.
Not necessarily. You mean a small man who simps for me?
Yeah, a small hairy man who simps for you. I can't relate to that at all. Shout out to my husband.
Shout out Ryan. I want to say that, I think maybe I would have enjoyed the movie more if Jeremy wasn't the only person to have a romance arc. Like if Mrs. whatever, Brisby.
She hates it so much. She refuses to learn anyone's names. She's
Mrs.
like
Brisby. If she had the romance arc and like, it's not Jonathan. It's all the J's. I'm sorry. Jeremy, Jonathan, Jenner, Justin. If her and Justin, like, if he was out there raising her kids with her or something at the end of the day, I would have been like, you know what? That's actually kind of nice. No, she's alone with her kids still. And Jeremy's like, look at my girlfriend.
Yeah, you're like, why does Jeremy He's the only one who gets to smash in the end.
It fucking ruins it.
Yeah, I agree. I know we didn't mention this because at the end of that pod, I was so heartbroken that I forgot to mention it, but there is a sequel to Secret of NIMH, and it's called like Timmy Goes to the Thorn Valley or something. I didn't even look it up. It's like Timmy's Adventures, and it's like totally different animation style.
Is it still Don Bluth?
I don't know. Like I've only seen clips of it, and it looks fucking terrible. It looks like it's like it's like all those Land Before Time sequels. You know, they made like 14 Land Before Time sequels.
I know. I think I watched like up to like 3 and kind of called it on that.
Yeah. Who's the YouTuber? Is it Jenny Nicholson? Do you know who I'm talking about?
I think you might have shown me some of her videos before, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong.
She's so funny. Yeah, she has like a 4.5 hour video about the Star Wars hotel at Disney, and she loves theme parks. Like she goes and reviews theme parks, and she'll like deep dive on a lot of cool stuff. So shout out Jenny Nicholson. But she in pandemic, she watched every single Land Before Time video, and she rates and reviews them all, and it is, if you just want like a brain rot video, it is really entertaining. So
damn.
But we're not talking about Don Bluth anymore. We're not talking about Secret of NIMH. Melanie's grateful for that. Mm-hmm. We're not talking about Land Before Time or any kind of animated movie, although there is animation in this. This movie I'm talking about today is actually one of Melanie's memories and a family favorite. I am talking about the fine film Pee-wee's Big Adventure from 1985. We were talking about what is like a classic? We have a lot of, we mentioned it in, I think, the last pod, that there are movies that are just kind of we're always on in our childhood home. Mm-hmm. And this one was definitely one of them. I guess we'll just kick it off with your memories, because this is about you. What's your earliest memory of seeing, I'll say this, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, or just like Pee-wee in general, because I also grew up with the TV show Pee-wee's Playhouse, mm-hmm. and all of his like additional content growing up.
Did the Playhouse, did that predate the movie, or was that after?
Well, let's hop into some lore first. So originally it was a stage show.
Yeah.
Because Paul Reubens, he went to LA and worked with the Groundlings, which is a super famous comedy troupe. They do mm-hmm. improv, they do sketch, and Pee-wee was this character that you create like original characters in comedy. And that was one that really got a lot of good response from the audience. So it became a regular stage show, which became a TV show. Then I believe he did the movie. Now that I'm talking about it,
sorry to
interject. No. Go ahead.
I just watched the Paul Reubens documentary.
Oh, did you? What did you think?
I loved it, and I was definitely sad at the end. I felt bad because, later in his life, he was constantly persecuted for things that he didn't necessarily do, but I think it's because he was closeted. So it's they tried to arrest him for child porn, and it was all it was men's nude magazines. And it's there's nothing. I mean, it's technically, yes, it's porn, and you're, in America, you're allowed to collect whatever you want, right? So it's I think they were just going after him for, I'm not sure what reasons. I'm not sure if it's because he had issues with friends that he had fallen out with over time, it was a really good documentary.
It was one of my favorite movies that I watched last year. Yeah, they persecuted him, I feel, mostly because he was gay. I mean, they still persecute gay people and trans people in this country. But I have to tell younger people all the time, I'm you don't know how bad it was in the 80s and early 90s, especially mm-hmm. The level of homophobia. If you got called a slur Let's just say like that. Like it really like ruined your, like that was one of my first instances of bullying in school. Yeah, it was like the worst thing you could be was gay. It pretty much ruined his career. I just looked this up on the internet. So I was wrong. It was stage show, then movie, then show. The show came out.
That's kind of how, yeah, like in the documentary, that's kind of how they like laid it out. And I thought it was opposite, but
yeah, no, I had just forgotten. Yeah, because like the movie was so successful. The movie was the thing that like, because it's such a crazy script and it's such a crazy out there concept. Yeah, I don't want to get like too far from like your stories of it, but I will say like just to insert a little bit of family lore is like I feel like we like content that talks about outsiders and misfits a lot. I feel like people who are sort of like outside of the norm. And even though I think people would look at us and be like, oh, that's a pretty typical like Midwestern family setup. I think one of the things that shaped my humor, like the comedy that I write, the things that I enjoy, it's all shaped like Pee-wee is, I cannot overstate how like formative this viewpoint is for like my humor, even nowadays. So like, how do you feel about that? Like going back to your memories, how do you remember this movie? What influence was it on you?
I mean, this was one of my earliest movie memories, like period. Like one of the earliest movies I remember watching as a kid and really just like laughing with all of the jokes, but like not totally understanding it. Like with my recent rewatch, I'm like, oh, there's some real adult humor in this too that kind of goes right over your head as a kid. But just to see this guy, Pee-wee, who's basically like a young boy.
He's a child.
Body. Yeah, he's exactly.
Yeah.
He's a full child. And it's like you can relate to this character, even though like, you know, he's different, right? So as a kid, I always like, I just remember laughing with all the different scenes with, you know, Large Marge being like a scary scene.
Sure.
And I always with the breakfast scene too, where he talks to the breakfast and it's Mr. T cereal. It's like there is just it's something that's like you said too is shaped like my view on humor. You know, I kind of love that sort of like not necessarily slapstick, but just like well written. It could be slapstick too, but it's just like there's something about Pee-wee that just feels different than any other type of comedy movie.
Yeah, like how would you, you know, I know we don't do like a lot of like film analysis or like literary analysis, although we do talk about books sometimes.
Right.
But like what would you, how would you define this kind of humor?
If I had to find a definition,
or like a word, like when you think of Pee-wee's Big Adventure, like the world building that he does, like what is?
I want to say kooky.
it is pretty kooky. Yeah, it's like absurd. It's very like Americana.
It's very California though. It's very LA, this movie.
It's so LA. It's so California. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to like, we were talking about what movie to do next. And I was like, there is a movie. We can be in nuclear winter. It can be shit weather, terrible day. I can put this movie on and it will make me laugh or smile. I don't care. On this most recent rewatch, I rewatched it twice because I watched it once regular style and then I watched with the commentary on the Criterion Collection DVD.
Well,
which is really good, by the way, listeners, if you want to pick up a nice piece of physical media. It has a lot of extras on it. There's also a commentary with Danny Elfman, the composer, which I haven't listened to yet, which is just the soundtrack. And he talks through the soundtrack too. Yeah, I would call it very like kooky, absurdist, sort of like postmodern. It's really out there. And I always, in terms of my memories, I have such strong early childhood memories of like the art style, because it's just the whole visual world of Pee-wee and like the things that he fills his house with, what he wears. He's sort of like pop art.
Definitely, like even with me too, all the contraptions he had. So like how the breakfast is assembled. Yes. You know, with like that sort of mousetrap-esque style maze that happens. And you've got President Abraham Lincoln flipping pancakes.
You gotta have Ed
that's
Lincoln.
Yeah, you gotta have him making your pancakes, otherwise they're trash. And it's funny, it's like, what happens to the pancakes that are on the ceiling? They just stay there.
Great question. Do you know how they did that effect, by the way?
I want to assume it's like it's a box that's lit, and no, it's like I would assume it's some sort of, what would you call that?
I don't know. You'll have to tell me.
What's the thing where it's like it looks like something, but it's not?
An illusion?
Yeah. But there's another word for it.
Yeah, it's like it's a like an in-camera effect. So they tried to actually throw pancakes on the ceiling, and they used all kinds of adhesive, and they had like multiple people try it. They could not get it right. So what they did, the ceiling you see is actually a floor.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, an optical illusion.
It's an optical illusion. And then they dropped the pancakes and they just flipped it in camera. It's so good. I also love that whole, it's called a Rube Goldberg machine, when you have like all the little things that like make the one thing happen. Just like the idea that Pee-wee, like every single night, he has to reset a candle to set off the breakfast machine. It's absolutely wild. Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts too. Yeah, the colors of it. It's just that feeling of like, oh wow, California's nice.
Yeah.
And me as like pretty much a lifelong New Yorker, Midwesterner, and then New Yorker, and I'm usually like, well, fuck LA, you know. But then you watch a movie like that and you're like, oh, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's funny, this movie to me is like very linked, even though they're not from California. It's very linked to like the B-52s for me. Like the B-52s are from Athens, Georgia, but they had that similar like 1950s, but also 80s look, which I love. And big hairdos and
absurdist style,
bright colors. Yeah. Almost like a pastiche a little bit, but it's like, I don't know. It's so sincere though. That's the thing that I love about Pee-wee, is like there's like this deep sincerity to it, and like it's such like he makes such grounded choices. Like it's silly and it's goofy, but it's also like real to him. Like losing his bike is real, and all of the drama is like real. And that's the thing that really works for me about this movie, is that it is done like dead serious. That's the thing. Yeah, I think that's the thing that really like clinches the comedy for me. It's like enough of these, like everyone today wants to do like ironic detachment. And it's like, no, Pee-wee is into his bike. He loves his house. He loves his dog. He loves, you know, all of these things, and he's passionate about it, and he's not afraid. So I feel like, yeah, Pee-wee's an icon. He's a legend. Yeah. He's a regular legend. He's also like, I would say like a queer icon as well, even though he was not out of the closet when he made this. But I think in retrospect, we can all look back and be like, yeah, no, Pee-wee made it okay to be like a weird kid.
Yeah, you're okay to be different.
And you didn't get to grow up in the 80s when every child in elementary school was imitating Pee-wee. Like it probably for you, it was like Ace Ventura.
Maybe so, yeah.
Right. Like what movies was everybody quoting like in 2000 for you?
It's a great question.
Yeah, like what were like the vocal stems that the children would get off on? But I
think it was a lot of like more so we were like a big TV generation too, so it was a lot of stuff like you would see on Nickelodeon and SpongeBob, who is like Pee-wee was such a big reference to the creator of SpongeBob when he created that. So it's basically like a version of Pee-wee. Yeah, like he admired his work so much.
That's such a good tie-in. Yeah, like SpongeBob is SpongeBob is very Pee-wee-esque. He's sort of innocent and he's just like living his life.
He doesn't have a bow tie, but he has a regular tie, a little red tie and stuff, and he wears his little outfit. Yeah.
Yeah,
and a lot of adult humor in SpongeBob too.
That's true. It's a little subversive, and like there's stuff for the, you know, it's for kids, but you know, parents can also enjoy it. And I think that's why, like going back to our memories, that's why it was on all the time, because our parents really enjoyed it.
They love it.
Still laugh at it, I think.
All the time. Every time it's the biker bar scene, you gotta just turn it all the way up. Like every time. And my dad will sit there and watch it and just smile and like through the whole thing and laugh.
Yeah, and we've seen it like at this point, like I'll say hundreds of times. Yeah, I was trying to explain to Ryan when he was watching through with me. I said, you have to understand something about my childhood. And I was like, if you want to know like what my parents' friends were like in the 80s and 90s, it's the biker bar scene in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Those are the kind of adults, I'm not joking.
No,
like,
I know.
they just to see people like that in a movie, I'm like, oh, I feel at home.
I do. And good old Cassandra Peterson, Miss Elvira in the bar as well.
Yeah, no, we're kind of jumping ahead, but yeah, that's one of my favorite things. I say you let me have him first. Yeah, Elvira was also Cassandra Peterson, also one of the groundlings with Pee-wee. A lot of groundlings in this going like into the creation of the film. The screenplay was written by Paul Reubens. We have Phil Hartman, who you probably know from Saturday Night Live, among other things. Like he just did so much stuff. And another person named Michael Varhol, who was like a screenwriter and a film producer, but there were like 3 people working on this script. And I think that Paul Reubens wanted the movie to be, his initial concept for the movie was, have you ever seen the Disney movie Pollyanna?
No.
With Haley Mills?
Mm-mm.
So it's a pretty simple story. It's a Disney movie, and there's a girl named Pollyanna, and she comes to a town full of grumps, and she makes everybody happy. And you get an expression like, oh, she's a real Pollyanna. Like she's real happy all the time. So that was Paul Reubens' original idea, that like he would come to a town and everybody was sad and he would cheer up and make everybody's day. But he like, it just didn't have a lot of story to it. And he's like, well, there's no conflict. And then he was like working on I think it was the Universal lot.
Yeah. And everyone was riding bikes.
And everybody's riding bikes. And he was just like, oh, this movie is about Pee-wee and he loves his bike and he lost his bike and he'll do anything to get it back. So there you have like a hook, right? And then from then on, he just like wrote this screenplay with the 2 other guys. And it was like a pretty big deal. I do highly recommend, just like Melanie suggested, everybody go watch is it Pee-wee as himself?
Pee-wee as himself on HBO.
Yeah, it's a tough watch sometimes, especially like towards the end. But I think the interview sequences are he's such a Virgo. I want to say that. We were talking about zodiac signs before we hopped on. Paul Reubens is the most, if you don't believe in astrology, I'm sorry. He is the most Virgo-ass Virgo I have ever seen.
Control freak.
Perfectionist. Lives and dies by his work, doesn't want to be like misquoted, misrepresented, workaholic, just yeah. And just like, I mean, I love it. I'm very aspirationally a Virgo. I love those qualities. I love working with people like that. I love working with people who like are very on it and professional.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, just watching how it's like, I get it, man. Like you just wanted everything just right. And yeah. And so speaking of that, I forget in the documentary, did he talk about trying to find the director for this movie? Did he talk about that at all?
I think he did, but I don't recall any of the information off the top of my head.
Well, on the Criterion Collection DVD, in the commentary, Paul Reubens and Tim Burton talk, and Paul mentions like they wanted to give him a different director, and he's like he didn't mention who it was, but he was just like, he wasn't right. But he had seen Tim Burton's short called Frankenweenie. Have you ever seen it?
I haven't seen the original short, but I know who's in it.
Wait, who's in it?
Isn't Miss Shelley Duvall in it?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Miss Shelley Duvall is in it. Yeah. It's great. It's really short. I think it's on YouTube. I remember seeing it when I was like 7 years old.
I know they made like an animated version of it in like the 2010s that I think I might have seen, but I don't really recall. I remember the animation though. It was kind of cute.
Yeah, I think there was like a moment, back in the 80s, they had a lot of like dead pet content, and it was like cute dead pet content, not like Pet Cemetery dead pet content.
Not enough dead pets. Still. It's just like
Frankenweenie, more pets than Pet Cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Paul Rumens had seen Frankenweenie, and he saw Burton's style, and he was brand new. Tim Burton was not like a big movie guy. He hadn't done anything. And I feel like Paul Rubens is really responsible for Tim Burton's whole career. Maybe not that he wouldn't have been successful, but so much of like being famous is like getting that foot in. And getting your first shot.
Connections. Yeah.
Like honestly, it really is. Like that was the part of showbiz that always didn't sit well with me. It's like, I'm talented, I can do it. But it's like, no, you got to talk to people, and you got to like be friends. Kiss. Not even kiss, but you just got to be around. Yeah. You got to go to parties. You got to be in the room. And sometimes they'll just be looking around and be like, we need a writer. Who's here? Oh, she's here. Like, or whatever. It's just like, you're ready to go. Kind of thing. He had seen Frankenweenie, and he was so impressed. Like Paul Rubens went to bat for Tim Burton, and Tim Burton had worked primarily in animation. Fun trivia fact: previous to all this, he was an animator for Disney. He worked on Fox and the Hound.
No shit.
Yeah, no, that's like the little, we talked about Fox and the Hound in the last episode too. He described it as feeling like he was Rapunzel in a tower, and he just had to like make animation cells all day. And he was just like, I mean, those animated, I think even if you love it, it's a very hard job. And yeah, it's just a lot of like you're sitting around for like 10, 15 hours just drawing. Like, I don't know. But yeah, he wanted to get his foot in directing. He had made Frankenweenie. Paul Rubens was like, I love this style. And so the rest is history. Yeah, they got Tim Burton on this film. And, from everything that I've seen, and I've done we've both watched this movie so much, and I've done so much behind the scenes research on it. They just really seem to have like a blast doing this movie. It seemed like, can you get a sense of that, you think, when you watch it?
Oh, 100%. And what's funny is, I mean, like as a kid, I never knew that it was like a Tim Burton movie. I wasn't like reading the credits. I just knew I loved Pee-wee. I loved the look of the movie. I loved, to laugh, right?
I love to laugh.
And so I was just like, oh my gosh, you get a real sense of like a real feeling that it is in his portfolio when you watch it and go like, oh, it's definitely through the lens of the Pee-wee character, but with the influence of Tim Burton, like in that environment, like the way things are shaped, and it's so detailed, yet it's so extreme, and I love it.
Yeah, I feel like it's such a good, it's Tim Burton's first movie. Let's give it up to him. I know we've like shit talked him on past podcasts, specifically for Willy Wonka.
For Nightmare Before Christmas and Willy Wonka.
Both, Nightmare Before Christmas, I can still give it props for the claymation of it all, and recognizing like the design is cool and quirky. Do I think the songs are great? No. Do I think the plot is good? Definitely not. Do I want to get Jack Skellington tattooed on my thigh?
Never in my life.
People do it, man. It's wild. I'm like, you're gonna get this whole, I don't know. It's a whole thing. But that being said, yeah, this was a time, I feel like this was a great time for Burton. His first couple movies, we have Pee-wee's Big Adventure, we have Beetlejuice.
Oh yeah.
Original Beetlejuice, like one of the best, I think, where he really got to like take his visual style to the next level.
Edward
Scissorhands still up there. Yeah. And then I feel like even Sleepy Hollow is such a good movie. So there are Sleepy Hollow haters. Have you seen that one?
I believe I have it, and I've seen it many, many years ago, so we could always revisit during spooky season.
It's such good. It's like, oh, talk about, we'll have to resurrect Fashion Corner. That has one of the best dresses of all time in it. Yeah. So anyway, not to go off too much about Tim Burton, but yeah, like this was him. You see a little bit of his visual style. the dinosaur sequence, like the animated dinosaur sequence, the clown sequence, like all the dream sequences, he gets to kind of flex that, like when Pee-wee's having his nightmares.
Or even too with the whole Large Marge situation where her face, she goes into that animated style that's like something right out of Beetlejuice. You know, it is his style.
You could tell that they had a bit of a limited budget, but they did the best that they could. And you can also tell too that like they really wanted to experiment with genres, because this is the movie that is like all movies. It's like a buddy movie. It's like a mystery. It's kind of like a hero's journey.
There's a lot of action, especially at the end.
There's a ton of action. Yeah, it ends with a huge chase scene. There's a little bit of romance. There's
very little,
but you know, that's because Pee-wee is essentially like an asexual character.
That, or I mean, even going back to being a child, like when you're a young boy, girls have cooties, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. He was very like, I think he does get a little romantic with Simone a little bit, but it's more like they have an emotional connection. And and that part of the movie is like as soft as it gets. But yeah, I mean, Pee-wee is a child. He lives in a house, which is like the coolest little like double A-frame house, which I was obsessed with as a kid. I was like, I want this house. His bedroom in the beginning. Well, I guess we can just start at the beginning. How does the movie start, Melanie?
Well, he's having a dream.
Yes.
That he's winning the Tour de France. You know, he's about to get the crown because he zooms past everybody in his special bike, right? About to get the crown. He wakes up and he's in his bedroom. And it's like a total, like everyone's imaginative childhood bedroom. There's toys everywhere. There's little gadgets that's all set up around the room. There's even a fireman's pole.
Oh my God. Yeah, I wanted that so bad. I remember asking Mom for one. She's like, we don't have 2 stories in here.
Where was it going?
Where was it going? Where is it going to? I was like, Mom, I want a fire pole. And then I would cry because like we were poor and we didn't have anything. And I love Pee-wee's wallpaper in his bedroom. That's like cowboys and Indians. There's like the big Godzilla head on the floor.
Yes.
I love that he wakes up. His little morning routine is like he picks up like literally 5-pound dumbbells and he can't lift them.
He can't lift them. He does like 1 rep. He's like, oh, okay, I'm done. Exactly. Yeah. And so he has the contraption. It gets him out of bed. He's playing with the toys across the floor, hops down the fireman's pole, instantly dressed. That's the move.
That's the move. That.
So he goes to the kitchen. And as a kid, I really thought that all of these contraptions were real.
Sure.
But you can kind of see with the camera effects how they got everything to like, they had the little like chicken thing crack the egg, and then the pterodactyl comes by with the toast. And I mean, like you can just set that up to have him just fly by and drop, but you don't have to have everything else going to make that happen. So I was like, oh yeah, you get to see like the trick behind the camera a little bit. I like when he goes into the bathroom.
Oh, I love that bathroom. I want to make our bathroom like that, but you know,
there's limitations.
There's limitations in the space, but yeah, what do you love about it?
I mostly love the scale that he gets on, and he weighs, I'm assuming 98 pounds.
Yeah, or he's a 98-pound weakling.
Yes,
that's the joke.
But the scale gives him a fortune, which I love. And it's like, it's better if you stay home today or something like that.
It's so ominous. Like that's your classic promise payoff because it's something bad does happen. The scene in the bathroom, which I assume this is all improv, that where he puts the tape on his face and rips it off. I'm sorry. I could be having the worst fucking day. And him putting the tape on his face and taping his nose up and being like, hello, like that. And then ripping it off and screaming. I'm sorry. It still gets me. Like when we were watching it the other night, we were both like cackling.
I smile. My jaw hurt from laughing and smiling watching this entire movie. Like it was every scene has something to give. I was like, okay, I need this scale in my house that tells me like what I need to do today. It's going to solve all my problems.
See, before we had Chat GPT, so the dum-dums of the world could ask it questions, we had old-timey scales that would just spit out a fortune. And then you just did whatever that fortune said.
It's funny because Pee-wee's appearance always reminded me kind of like a sock monkey.
Oh, yeah, I could see that. Yeah, like sort of like a Paul Frank-esque kind of sock monkey. Yeah, he's the graphic, like pop art design of it all. He's gray, he's white, he's got a little pop of red, the haircut. He's wearing a ton of makeup too. It's like, it's not super apparent, but I'm like, yeah, he's beat. He's beat, as they say. Yeah, like how would you even describe Pee-wee's house? Like, would you call it sort of like a postmodern house? Like you're the aesthetics queen. Like, what would you call Pee-wee's whole? What is that even?
It's like kind of almost like a bungalow, really, because he has an upstairs.
No, but not the style of house, but like the whole,
like the interior.
Like what style is that? What would you call it?
It's like maximalist pop art, folklore, sort of like.
Ooh, I love
Americana.
That. Americana. Yeah. It's a very like American movie and a lot of like motifs. I get like sideshow, circus, 1950s pop culture for sure, like definitely influenced by like TV and comics and stuff. Like his whole yard is like all the little figurines and the things, like the sprinkler. His one neighbor is just like fine with it. He's like,
hi, Pee-wee.
Hi, Pee-wee, come on.
I'm going to water my grass now. I'm going to water my grass.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, if we can get through this without at least one terrible Pee-wee impression, I can't do his voice very well. Yeah, you're like, go on, try it. Go on, do it.
Good morning, Pee-wee. Good morning, Mr. Breakfast.
Yeah, I pity the poor fool who don't eat my cereal. Also, sorry, before we move on, we haven't even we have to speed this up because we're talking about this opening scene for like literally 20 minutes.
I love it so much.
Yeah, I love it. I love it so much. The fact that he ate like 2 kernels of the cereal, like 2 pieces of the cereal. He doesn't eat the eggs. So and he just crunches and munches, and then he pats his little mug, and he's out of there. It's so wild. I
love it. It's so funny.
It's so funny. Yeah, like that. Yeah, the house is incredible. The exterior is incredible. We see his bike, which he keeps James Bond style in the back.
Oh yeah.
And and then he's like out and about on his day. He's out shopping. It's just like a normal day. We get to go to the joke shop, which I think was supposed to be like a longer bit. Because like all the stuff that he gets at the joke shop, like it's supposed to like come back and help him. Like he does a little bit, like he brings out the gum later.
Yeah.
And he brings out the glasses, the 3D glasses. The boomerang bow tie was a cut scene when he was supposed to, like during the chase scene much later, he was supposed to use the boomerang bow tie to like evade the studio cops or whatever.
Oh.
But it was like, it broke up the scene and they just wanted to like keep the momentum of the chase going. So they ditched it. There's a lot of like cut scenes on the DVD. He decides to chain his bike to a rotating clown statue, and uses like a full 5 miles of chain to tie it up. Did you have
relatable?
I was going to say, did you have a childhood bike that you treated like that? Did you have
I've had many childhood bikes. I had many of them. And my teenage bike I took to New York, and it was stolen.
Wait, was it?
Yeah, I brought like a Schwinn mountain bike. It's not exactly what you need to get around in the city, but it was plenty for me. And that thing got stolen on Stanhope Street.
Girl, why are you chaining up your bike on Stanhope Street? You know better than that.
That's where I lived at the time, you know?
She was deep in Bushwick.
There was no space for the bike inside, so I chained it up outside like a fool.
Like I've definitely had some bikes get stolen too. in the land of Pee-wee, like it's like a land of bikes, right? We have not just Pee-wee, but there are like local BMX riders. Like BMX was huge in the 80s, like all these kids popping wheelies. And he ends up like after all of his errands, he ends up at Chuck's Bikerama, which is where his friend Dottie works. And Dottie, I love the dynamic. Dottie, who's played by E.G. Daily or Elizabeth Daily, but she's professionally known as E.G. Daily. And of course, she's done, you recognize her voice, right?
Oh, yeah. She's done so much. She's been in a lot of movies.
A lot of movies. And, you know, I think she's most well known for voicing Tommy Pickles on Rugrats. She's done a lot of animation voices. That's like the ultimate gig.
Yeah.
But she has that really unique kind of scratchy childlike voice. And I love their dynamic because usually you see the man sort of being the aggressor in a relationship, but Dottie, she has a crush on Pee-wee and she's not afraid to go there. And I was always like, you go, Dottie, you get this man child, whatever.
Yeah. If you want him, get him.
If you want him, get him. I mean, I get it. Sidebar, I think Paul Rubens is really hot. And he, in the documentary, they show like all of his, like, you know, him with long hair.
Oh, yeah.
Him with, you know, just like being a guy outside of the character of Pee-wee. And I'm like, yeah, no, he definitely was a little hottie for sure. So after he chats with Dottie at the bike shop, he comes out and what had happened to his bike?
It got stolen.
It got stolen. And it's like the worst thing that's ever happened. And Pee-wee fully spirals. That's the best way to describe it. He's lost his mind. He's looking everywhere. He calls a meeting of people to like hunt it down. And there aren't really any suspects, except we forgot to mention him earlier.
His nemesis,
Francis, which is who is so funny. The fact that they found basically like a foil for Pee-wee, and he's not like in the whole movie, but the part that he plays, Mark Holton plays Francis Buxton. And yeah, he was like in a bunch of other stuff. He was in the Leprechaun movies. He's like done a ton of stuff. He does a really good job, like also being like a spoiled man child. So yeah, Pee-wee confronts Francis and like runs.
I know you are, but what am I?
Yeah, after like they had a squabble that morning, so Francis is like number one on his suspect list. So he like busts into his house, attacks him in the bathtub.
Well, that fucking tub though is the dream. It's like a mini pool in your house.
Yeah, no, I said that too. I was just like, who has a pool? Who has like a tub like that? And they have to fill up all that water. I love that he's bath.
Like, who's hosing him down?
So yeah, Francis's father comes in and is like, it's not my boy. You've got the wrong guy. But the thing was, It was him. Yeah. There's that little quick scene with Francis and basically just like a 1950s style greaser thug, which I think also like there's so many scenes in this movie, they just sort of like come and go, but it still works. Like he's just like, I don't want the bike anymore. Just like get rid of it. Francis is just like, he's panicked, right? He knows he can't drive this bike because people are going to see him with it. So he asks the thug who he had steal it to get rid of it. So Pee-wee's walking around in the rain. What happens then? I want you to start to describe some of these scenes. So,
well, he's walking around in the rain and like some thugs try to approach him and he like gives a scary reaction to them and they all run away. And then I think this is when he goes to the tarot card reader.
Yeah, he goes to Madame Ruby,
and she's like, yeah, I'll tell you what you need to know for, $20. I'll tell you everything for 50. And so she just starts going through his wallet and starts like telling him about himself. And she plugs in her lamp, her mystical orb. So she's describing, like, she's just looking at words around the room. It's so funny. She's like, oh, the Alamo, your bike is in the basement, because she sees like a sign outside that's like something repair or whatever.
Right. It looks like Alamo. But it gives him hope. He's like, all right, I got to go to Texas. So like hitchhiking from California to Texas. And then, yeah, from there, it just becomes this episodic road movie. Mm-hmm. And, you know, not to break down like every scene, like I know we would, but we can just talk about like the characters that he meets along the way. Like
Mickey.
He meets Mickey, who is incredible, like a tough guy who's on the run from the law.
Yeah. And then that's when Pee-wee goes into drag when they evade the cops, and he does this like sweet little lady routine or whatever. And
oh my God.
The cop is so funny. Like
I do love that whole Pee-wee and drag scene is such a delight. They have I love how quickly they change. Like I'm like, where did that mustache and beard come from, Mickey? Like so fast. Pee-wee is wearing straight up like
granny core outfit.
It's so good though. It's basically just like a cashmere, like teal sweater dress. Honestly,
and like a muumuu.
Yeah, just like it's so good. He looks so good, and the way he like just plays into it is delightful. So they evade the cops, like you said. They're driving down a long and dusty road and end up like driving off a cliff. That scene where Pee-wee's trying to drive in the dark while Mickey's falling asleep, and it's dark, and you see the signs in succession. It's like, ooh, it's a wiggly road. It's a wigglier road. Oh my God, falling rocks. It just, like so many beats in this movie are like classic textbook sketch comedy gold, because like the thing is you take a funny idea and then you escalate it. Like, how do you make it more funny, right? Or you think of like any successful sketch like on Saturday Night Live or SCTV or whatever. It's like it starts with a basic idea and it's like, okay, now go crazy with it. And that's what makes it funny. So that's like a classic example. They literally fall off a cliff. Pee-wee saves them by like pulling the canopy and they float down. And Mickey has to ditch him. And then we get one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie, which is animated, where he's in the dark and you just see Pee-wee's eyes.
Yeah.
Like
the floating eyes are on the black screen.
Yeah. What happens? Like he's in the dark, and do you remember what happens next?
He's trying to navigate, and then I think he finds a flashlight or something.
No, he's got the
X-ray vision, the goggles.
The goggles, right. And then
it's just all of these taxidermied animals around him. He's like, oh.
It's so funny when he turns on the lights in that scene and he's just like, I hear animals. And he's like, let me get a look with these glasses. It's like half taxidermied animals. And also there's just some random real animals. They put like a raccoon near him. There's maybe a mountain lion that they got. They were just like, just bring some random animals to set. And then of course, after that, he needs a ride. So who picks him up after that whole ordeal?
Large Marge.
Large Marge. I say the word icon on this podcast a lot. Large Marge is the moment. She's everything. Mm-hmm. She's, I would say, an iconic female character of horror in a movie that is not a horror movie, but that's like I said before, every genre is in this movie. Mm-hmm. So, you know, your action, your comedy, romance, this is like the horror movie, and it's legit scary. And every child who I know who has seen this movie was traumatized by that scene.
Yes.
Like, how much did you jump?
Oh, all the time as a kid, all the time for Large Marge. That claymation face, that stop motion, it's just so good. Because she's like going on about this story and taking her time with it. It was the loudest crash. It was like something fell off the Empire State Building.
It was the worst accident I ever seen.
And then it's like, and then she scares him, and then he gets out. And I like how they even talked about it in his documentary, how like the screen basically does a wipe where like the semi drives off and it reveals the dinosaurs and the diner.
Yes.
And it's like changes the scene. So he goes into the diner And, she makes sure to tell him Large Marge sent you. And so they all freak out because that's a ghost. She is not actually real. She's dead.
Yeah, it's so good. I think that because you've never been to California.
I haven't. Right? I know the dinosaurs are there. They're not lit up like how they are in the movie.
No, but I've been through there. It's like just outside of LA. It's like closer to Palm Springs. Mm-hmm. This is going to be my plug. I've been telling Melanie this for years now. She has to go to California, and you got to have the California experience before it all burns up or falls into the ocean or like gets bombed into oblivion or whatever. Go. Yeah. Go and enjoy. Cause there's just, if you want to feel how this movie feels, I can like tell you where to go to feel it because it is real. It's like a real place full of sun and like bright colors. And like, yeah, you can go see the dinosaurs. It's like, they're called like the Cabazon dinosaurs right outside of Palm Springs. You can go get a date shake. You can go buy a Hawaiian shirt and like walk around and just live your life. It's like not too far from like Coachella. So like maybe don't go there now.
Yeah. I wouldn't go to Coachella.
No one needs to go to Coachella.
I'm anti-Coachella.
It's just, like who...
If you want to go to a real festival, go to Bonnaroo.
Or honestly, like a UK festival, I feel. Like
Glastonbury.
Like Glastonbury or...
Like Primavera Sound and...
Primavera in Spain. Mm-hmm. Or Wacken in Germany. Just go to Europe.
Yeah.
Just go to Europe. You don't need to go. But anyway, this is... I feel like... I feel this spiritually. I feel like you need to go there and just like experience it and see if you like it and get some.
I'm sure I will. And that's the problem.
Just go. Yeah. And like, you'll have to rent a car, but it's okay. Cause you know how to drive. Yeah. I feel like, yeah, if you love, if you love sunshine, you love fashion, you love the beach, you love driving culture, girl, go to California. It's like everything, but just don't like live in like LA proper. You could live like just outside or live in like a northern suburb near the mountain. Because that's the cool thing too. Sorry, one more California plug is that you can be in the city and then you can like be in the mountains in like a half hour and like way out in nature. Yeah, I love all of the vistas in this movie. Yeah, the horizons, the dinosaurs, the light, just like the cool lighting of like, ooh, it's like we've stayed up all night and we've hung out in the dinosaur because Pee-wee meets Simone, this like very romantic, I'll call her like a Francophile waitress, and she's got big dreams, but she's stuck in a little town.
She is living most women's tragedy, being held back by a man.
Exactly. Yeah, she's with some fucking loser boyfriend who doesn't give her anything. She's out here working hard. All she wants to do is go to Paris. And so she has a little heart-to-heart with Pee-wee, and he inspires her to start to
live her dreams, chase her dreams.
Go out and get it. Yeah, and they do have this beautiful little like connecting moment before her boyfriend, Andy, catches them. And that becomes a chase scene. He gets chased out of the dinosaur park. And ends up on a train.
Yeah.
And can you describe, I feel like this is another scene that is like a family favorite of ours.
Yeah.
What happens on the train?
He meets, I would only be able to call like a hobo, if that's not the proper term. I mean, whatever. It's just like, that's like the style.
I think we can call this man a hobo.
Yeah.
He's a hobo with a bindle stick, just like, well, Pee-wee has a bindle stick too.
He does.
He's like a trained hobo man. He has a lot of songs. He's singing.
The best one being Jimmy Crack Corn, and I don't care. Jimmy Crack Corn. Mom will say that all the time.
Yeah, that's like, we laugh because it's like a part of our family lore. And also, this is a mom thing. I didn't say this. But Mom said that the hobo on the train looked like your grandpa Ray.
Maybe so.
Which I thought was very funny. He kind of does look like him.
A little bit, yeah. Except he didn't only have one tooth.
No, he had all his teeth. But yeah, like very similar in the face. So yeah, Pee-wee gets like he has to jump off the train and scream because this guy
keeps singing they're singing for a while.
They're singing a good long time. Yeah. But like where he jumps off, he ends up in San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
He ends up at the Alamo. But of course, that's a huge disappointment because he goes through a whole historic tour only to find out that there is no basement. He got duped. He's stuck in San Antonio, which is kind of fun because the rodeo is there.
Mm-hmm.
So we got like a full rodeo scene.
Well, yeah, because Andy shows up because he runs into Simone, who for some reason left California to get on a bus to go to France.
Yeah, that's the one part I was like, okay, I understand like plot wise, he has to run into Simone again. Mm-hmm. But if she was coming from California and we
maybe like the dinos weren't in California, hypothetically, like in the movie, maybe that was like somewhere along the way to Texas.
Yeah, I guess so. Like the space and time continuum gets a little wibbly wobbly there for sure. But yeah, so she had to like catch a bus in San Antonio. I'm like, that's not near anything. I mean, especially in 1985, like there weren't as many like hubs of transportation. Like the major hub of transportation in Texas is, I mean, I guess you could take a bus from San Antonio to Dallas, Fort Worth, and then get on a plane.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's what she was trying to do.
Maybe.
But yeah, I mean, I try to justify it in my head. I'm like, that's a lot of miles on that bus. That would be a brutal, like, because you've never been to Texas either.
I've never been. No, I know it's huge though.
Oh my God, Melanie, you gotta go. Okay, you're going. We're going to Texas and we're going to California. Yeah, so they're in Texas. What happens after he has to leave San Antonio?
Is that where he runs into the bikers?
Pee-wee manages to evade Andy after Andy follows Simone. Like Pee-wee basically like distracts him, so Simone is able to like get on the bus and go do her thing. He like ends up like riding a bull. Oh, he gets knocked out.
That's what happens. Yeah, he goes to the hospital.
He goes to the hospital. I think that's where he has like a scary dream. And then he like wakes up. Go ahead.
Is it because or does he go to the hospital twice? I don't know, because like I know when he goes to the hospital, the bikers like escort the ambulance to the hospital.
He goes to the hospital twice, I think. Pee-wee is always getting in a little altercation.
Yes.
And yeah, he gets knocked out and then he wakes up, right? Oh, he wakes up and he doesn't remember anything. And so he doesn't wake up.
And then he remembers the Alamo and everyone's like, yeah.
And then he goes to the biker bar to make a phone call. And then he accidentally knocks over all the bikers' bikes. So we're at the very famous biker scene that we've already talked about a little bit. But yeah, he has to redeem himself by dancing tequila on top of the bar.
The best.
With his shoes. Yeah, it's a legendary scene. And they give him you have to tell this scene before we start to like wrap it up. This scene, I have never seen my stepdad and your father laugh so hard in his life. I swear to God, there's one time we put this movie on. It's the scene where Pee-wee gets the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Describe what happens.
So they gift him a motorcycle because they're so impressed with his dancing and his ability to bring joy to the biker bar.
Sure.
And they put him on the bike and he's like, all right, guys, I'm out of here, all cool. And then he goes and rides off and he goes through the billboard on the side of the road and falls off. He doesn't make it like 30 feet.
It is one of the funniest like visual gags in like any movie ever. Yeah, it's just one. It's again, it's a scene that we can put on and then like everyone fucking dies laughing.
I always say too, because like he goes to the bar and it's loud and he goes, I'm trying to use the phone. And then something happens and he goes, well, nobody hit me to that, dude. I say that all the time.
Yeah, it's so funny how like the movie has become a part of like our lexicon. And it's just stuff that like we casually say. Yeah, Pee-wee gets completely wiped out on the bike. Then he goes to the hospital. Then he has
they escort him there, the biker gang, because they know he's a part of the group now.
Yeah, he's a part of the gang.
And then he's at the hospital and he sees, I think, a TV show that has his bike on it.
Yeah, he sees that his bike is being used as a prop in a film. And he's like, oh, shit, now I got to go to Warner Brothers Studios in Burbank. He realizes it's a part of a show where they're giving a kid a bike. And to like snag the bike, he dresses up as like one of the nuns in the scene. Yeah. Which is so funny to me because Paul Rubens is like so much taller than everybody else. I'm like, he's enormous. And then also, I don't know, this is a fun fact. I don't know if you recognize the woman who plays the head nun who has the problem with the kid. The one who's like, I'm going to lose it, Jerry, or whatever she said. Did you recognize her?
I kind of do, but not from where. Like her face is familiar to me.
So that's Lynn Stewart, who plays Miss Yvonne on Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Oh.
Yeah. And she also, anybody out there who is an It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia fan.
Oh, that's Charlie's mom,
That's
right?
Charlie's mom. Yeah. I mean, just like incredible, recently passed character actress, total legend, comedian. I will quote this whole movie is quote corner, by the way. We took away quote corner, but this movie, it has too many to mention. You could just say the whole movie. The little kid actor, I forget his name. Oh, it's Jason Hervey, who's like, he was on the Wonder Years, but he's like, ready. I have been ready since first call. Roll. And I say that all the time to Ryan, like people, because people are late.
Yeah.
People always be running 15 minutes late. Oh, I'm going to be there. No, you're there at like 15, 20 after. I'm on time. Do you know what I'm saying? So I say this constantly. I'm like, I have been ready since first call. Every day, bitch. Yeah. So Pee-wee gets away with it. He snags the bike from the soundstage, and that kicks off like the legendary chase scene, which is so long, by the way, and so funny and so fast. They pull out all the stops with the action. There are elephants and extras and bikes jumping off of buildings, and also a very famous cameo. Do you remember the cameo from a famous rock star of that time?
Dee Snider.
Dee Snider. Well, all of Twisted Sister.
Yeah. Out of that entire scene, which is your favorite little
moment?
Snippet. Yeah.
I mean, I have to say Twisted Sister. Because I would, first of all, as an adult, I love it because one thing I realized upon rewatch is that usually in 80s movies, it's the women who like are on the car all sexy. But with this particular thing, I don't know if they did this because it's kind of like it's a PG movie, but you have all the women like fully clothed walking beside the car looking really tough. And you have Dee Snider on the hood looking very sensual. And sort of like flipping the narrative on that, singing Burn in Hell, which I thought was so funny as a kid. Just like, when you're a kid and you hear like a mild curse word, you're like, ha ha ha, that's so funny. These people who are giving chase to him, like Santa Claus, all the cops, there's Godzilla.
The collection of like going from like the 50s beach party where somebody's on like the lifeguard stand and fully like dives off of it.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Like so violently. Yeah. They're doing sort of like a Frankie and Annette kind of style beach party movie. Yeah. It's like, if there weren't like enough genres in the movie itself, like they're going to show the rest that they didn't. Like the whole thing is such a love letter to like movies, the way it's framed. It's like, oh, you like movies? This is a movie that has every movie. So yeah, he had driven through the beach party. He drove through the Japanese kaiju movie. He drove through Santa Claus with like all the little people dancing as elves. I was like, I crack up every time. So yeah, like that's probably my favorite is just like, Godzilla and Twisted Sister. How about you?
I would say the same. Yeah. Godzilla. It's a big one.
we agree. We agree. Yeah. So the chase scene seems to be going in his favor, but he gets distracted by what's happening. what happens when you think he's evaded everyone and he's going to get away? What stops him in his tracks?
Oh, well, he gets out of the lot, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, I guess, in like a little downtown area, and there's a pet shop that's just on fire.
Yep.
I think about that scene often, and it's like he goes into the pet shop to start saving all the animals. So, he's letting all the dogs out. There's like a monkey in there. There's a full-on chimp in the pet store. So the chimp is helping him get all the animals out. So he's getting like, okay, birds, birds, fly away, playing with his arms. And then there's the gerbils, get the gerbils, the rats out of here. And then he keeps going past the snakes, and he's afraid of snakes, apparently, right? So he's like, ugh, he keeps moving. So it's all of these frames of him going into rescue and just being like, I'm not doing the snakes. And at the end, he's able to he has to go and grab him. He screams and passes out on the side of the block. And I fucking love it. It's like all of the animals in there, the little pink poodle dog who makes a reappearance later. It's just like, it's so good.
Yeah, I love that. Well, first of all, why is there a full-on chimp in a cage? Too small for that chimp. Also, no one needs a chimp as a pet. It will eat your face.
It will. But to be fair, in the documentary about Paul Rubens, he talked about growing up partly in Sarasota, where there was like the Ringley brothers training facility or something.
Yes, yeah, he was talking about that.
And one of their neighbors had the chimps and did the chimp act. And so he grew up with them being a friend. They would come out from their rooms and go sit at the dinner table.
I hear that. I am not invalidating his experience. I think people who have chimps in their house are fucking crazy.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying that. I'm just like, wow, but so it's to have him in the movie. I mean, you have to have him in the movie.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely he needs an assistant. It's a great thing for the movie, but I'm just going to say right now, you can't even have one of those cute little spider monkeys. It's just not right. You don't need that.
The cat I have is enough.
Yeah, cats are enough. I mean, crazy animal people abound, especially, oh my God, Melanie, California. Crazy animal people Tiger King type people, Texas too. Everyone's I got a big cat. I have a leopard in my house. Mm-hmm. I will say I'm not a crazy exotic animal person, and I think that they should be in the wild. However, I do want to pet a big cat. And I do know it will strike me. And
not necessarily.
Well, I just see it's like every morning I got to get up and watch my Safari Sammy.
Yes, Safari Sammy. I put you onto Safari Sammy.
But they're so nice.
They're just cats, but big. And that's the thing. Even a small, the house cat, if it was, another 100 pounds, it would be able to kill you, They're the same animal.
Those big cats can kill you by accident. They don't even mean to, and they'll just swipe you and take out your whole carotid artery. And then that's it. It's over. And you know what? I deserve it. We all deserve it.
Yeah.
That's how we should all go. So yeah, Pee-wee gets all wrapped up in saving all the animals in the pet shop.
And even then the fire trucks come.
The fire trucks come. They say he's a hero. He's still got to get arrested because he, technically stole a prop, even though it was his bike. But he gets it all worked out in the studio.
Yeah, they're like, hey, how about a movie deal? We're going to write your story.
Yeah. It kind of wraps up pretty neatly at the end. But at that, I mean, it's like a tight 90 movie too. At that point, you're just like, okay, we've had the full arc. He's found the bike, and he makes a deal with Warner Brothers president Terry Hawthorne. He's like, all right, if we can make a movie out of this whole story, we'll let you off scot-free. And then we get to see the Hollywood interpretation. So it's so meta, right? It's like the movie in the movie, because we see the Hollywood adaptation, which is P.W. Herman, who's played by James Brolin, which is so funny, married to Barbara Streisand, IRL. Wow. Yeah, that's her husband. Still to this day. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
If you ever finish her autobiography, you'll read the whole story.
I'm like about 60% of the way done now.
Oof. Are you at Yentl yet?
I'm in Yentl right now.
Oh, Yentl's so long. Yeah, that was her passion. Should we do a VHS Sister episode of Yentl, the musical? Chime in.
Yeah, chime in, sound off.
Sound off. That's what I was looking for. All you Yentl fans out there. Should I force Melanie to watch a very bad movie with Barbra Streisand? So yeah, and that's pretty much the movie. Like they're at the drive-in.
It's so funny. It's like I love how it's a movie within a movie.
Right.
And I love that he gets to like meet all of his friends along the way who come to the movie for the premiere, you know, and it's like the drive-in movie that Dottie always wanted to go with him to. And so he's like going across, giving everyone a little bit of treats and stuff. And like with the bike, he tries to give Mickey like a shiv.
He tries to give Mickey, who's there in a prison van or like a prison bus, basically, tries to give him a foot long with a shiv in it. And gets discovered. I'm like, and then he doesn't get arrested. I'm like, it's this magical reality where like nothing truly bad ever happens. That's why I think I love this movie. Like there's some points of stress.
Yeah.
But it's never like life ending, right? It's like just enough to like pull you in. And
I was going to say you could totally tell, like, I mean, I know that Paul Rubens was inspired a little bit by like James Bond for this film too, like all of the gadgets that he had and like, you know, evading and being this like superhero kind of in the end. It's funny because you can kind of see the parallels between this movie and also Austin Powers. Because Mike Myers does the movie within the movie thing with Tom Cruise as Austin Powers in one of them. And it feels so familiar. And I'm like, yep, it's a nod. Tip of the hat.
Yeah, I think it's a tip of the hat. And Mike Myers probably, I mean, you know, also a comedy person. Maybe a
character actor to like, you know.
Character actor who would have like, I think Mike Myers came up in Second City. So again, like improv sketch people coming up with characters, had like tons of characters like Wayne from Wayne's World was a character, you know, like, and that's like a common thing too, like in a sketch, like I think people who aren't into like sketch comedy, they think it's so silly. And it's like, that's how like so many like famous characters that, you know, from movies, that's how they started. It has to start as like a 5-minute idea. And then if it's really good, they're like, okay, we could make a movie out of this, or it becomes like a recurring sketch. And you're just like, yeah, I love to see these characters again. So yeah, that's a great point about like Austin Powers. Like it's a similar, very like absurdist kind of, yeah, maybe we're just like absurd people. We're just silly people.
Silly sisters.
We're just a bunch of silly sisters, guys. What do you give Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
Okay, I have to give it 100% A+.
A+. First A+ we've ever had on the pod.
Flying colors.
Flying colors A+. If you think this movie has a flaw in it, sound off.
Paging Mr. Herman. Mr. Herman.
We have a telephone call for you at front desk. Before we close, let's talk about the movie. In the movie, one of the funniest things is Pee-wee playing like the bellhop or whatever, the guy behind the counter, bad acting, and also like looking at the camera
directly.
So funny. Also like mouthing, you know, James Brolin's lines.
It's so fucking funny. This is like one of the best movies ever.
I think so. I think for me, on my Letterboxd, I think it was in my top 4. I would definitely put it in like my top 10 of all time.
People ask me that. I've never made a Letterboxd account.
I mean, I kind of like, I was doing it more regularly last year in 2025 because I was like adding movies that we had done on the pod. So you can definitely see some of my reviews for the pod movies. Yeah, Letterboxd is cool. You can make an account. I think I made mom make one, but she doesn't do anything with it. So you can
That's funny.
You can, yeah, put the app on your phone. It's just like, it's like gentle social media. So you can see what like friends are watching. I think it's worth it if you have friends who watch a lot of movies like my friends do. And you can be like, oh, so-and-so watched like Days of Heaven. Oh, so-and-so watched Lawrence of Arabia. I should rewatch that. You know, it's like, it reminds you of like.
That's every Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
In this
like,
house.
You gotta watch Lawrence of Arabia. That's one on the big screen. Oh, I would love to see. I would also love to see this on the big screen.
Oh, yeah. In LA.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, I guess we're gonna have to plan that trip. Yeah. Any other closing thoughts about this fabulous film?
If you need to feel joy, put it on, because this is the most, in recent movie watching for the pod and anything, this is the most I've smiled and laughed like throughout the entire thing. Like my jaw is sore now just from like the amount of smiling and laughing I've been doing.
If you get the Criterion Collection, plug for Criterion Collection, it's so good. You get all the extra features. It's great to hear the commentary. And then of course, watch the Paul Rubens documentary. It's on HBO. And just get like the full picture of the artist. And I think it'll really inspire you. That's the thing about like the world of Pee-wee. It like inspires me to want to like make stuff.
I was gonna say, even just Paul Rubens in general, after watching the doc, it's like seeing his like creative process, seeing him, you know, be in drag a lot, like his like Cher look that he did for this movie that he made that was like a mermaid movie.
Yes.
So elegant and iconic. And I hate that he felt like he had to hide that part of himself because, you know, in today's world, he would be so celebrated, which is like kind of a good reason for everyone to go take a peek at that. And of course, remember this iconic character that he came up with. And, you know, I would assume if you're listening, inspired different parts of the person you are today and perhaps like influenced your childhood in such like a nice way that it did for us. You know, it's just something that you feel so like comforted by.
I think it's important to note that when you feel free to express yourself, I'll just say this. I'll finish with this. This is my big sister advice for the day. This is my new segment called Big Sister Advice, is that when you give yourself the freedom to express yourself, and I don't care what you want to do, is it a silly little piece of art, something you write, something you create? When you create that and you put it out there, it gives other people courage to do that as well. So go do it. Your art is not stupid. Don't put a prompt into an AI chatbot thing. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because you could use your own brain and draw me the stupidest fucking thing, and it's a million times better than anything else or anything that any AI could generate. That's what I'll say.
That's right.
That's my closing.
All right, guys, we'll catch us next week. Catch us next week.
Sorry,
for more Melanie's memories.
Well, catch us next week because we have a very special episode. Melanie,
Yay.
do you want to preview?
Do I let them know, or do I just say that it is another childhood classic that is top of my list, and it's going to be my birthday episode?
It's going to be her birthday episode. So if you're listening to this now, Venmo Melanie.
Yes. Oh my God. What's my Venmo? We'll know if you're a real listener if I get a Venmo from you. Oh, it's at Melanie-Nadolski, Nadolski.
You got that, listeners?
You got it.
Send my sister some fucking money. Okay, bye. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of VHS Sisters.
We hope you've had a fun and cozy time.
Please consider liking, leaving a review, and following us on your podcast platform of choice.
If you'd like to chat with us, please email us at VHSsisterspodcast@gmail.com.
Love you. Bye. That's it.